In this video, I'm going to share my story and talk about my struggle with genotype incompatibility. My genotype is AS. Those who want to settle down and find a partner, you know you really need to talk about these things. I've never really shared this story with anyone, not even my family, but I think I'm ready to talk about it today. At the end of this video, if you're currently facing genotype incompatibility, I'm going to give you tips that can help you cross that bridge. So if that's something you're interested in, then keep on watching. Hey Queens, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Uchechi Cynthia and I am a dating and relationship coach for single ladies. If you're a new subscriber to my channel, just tell me in the comments and type new subscriber. I may have a gift for you. So let's go right into the story. The first time I heard about genotype was, I think it was in the biology class in senior secondary school. And you know, it was just skeletal, scanty. They just talked about it and mentioned it, and that was it. In late 2003, when I got admission to the university, and it was required of every new student during registration to do what they call medical tests, where they'll check your blood group and your genotype. I submitted my samples, and when the result came, my result was AS. I had this friend in first year that time. Her result also came out as AS. So we're talking about it, and she said, "Oh, don't mind them because we're plenty. There's so many of us. They just put whatever it is, you know, and maybe they are understaffed. They just put whatever it is that comes to mind on paper as somebody's result." So I kind of believed her, and I didn't put much thought to it. Fast forward to 2008. I finished school and I fell in love with this guy, and yes, I mean, we were close and we started talking about marriage. So one day he casually mentioned, "Uche, what is your genotype?" And I paused for a while. I'm like, I did it sometime in 2003 and it was AS, so I'm not really sure. And he was like, "You need to be sure." And he gave me money there and then. I said, "Go to a lab and find out what your genotype is." And I remember I asked him, "Why are you talking about genotype right now?" He said, "Because I am AS and I need to be very sure that we are actually compatible to get married." I went to a lab, submitted my samples, and the results came in 2 days after, and it was AS. At that point, I think I asked the lady who gave me my results, I'm like, "Please, can you throw more light? What does it mean if I am AS and my partner is AS?" And then she explained to me all the disadvantages and labeled it one long like that. And I felt like my world has crumbled because I liked this guy, because I loved this guy. And I had already, you know now how ladies behave, I had already pictured my life with this person. I picked out in my head, I picked out baby names, the number of kids we'll have, you know, I just pictured my future with this person. And here I am standing in a lab, and this lady is telling me that I am actually AS, the same AS this guy mentioned, and I cannot marry this person. Don't forget, this was happening in 2008. And I froze. But she also gave me hope. She told me at the time that there were medical discoveries at the time where that didn't matter, that they could handle it and make sure you do not have sickle cell babies. So that was a single thread of hope I held on to, and I went back to meet this guy. And I told him, "Look at my results, it's AS." And I told him that, that lady also mentioned that there are medical interventions now where they can do genetic testing to make sure you do not have sickle cell babies. And he told me clearly that he didn't have the time, he didn't have the patience, and he didn't want to risk all of that. He had seen what people living with sickle cell had to go through. There are many crises and all, and he didn't want to take that risk with his children. It felt as if my entire life crumbled before my eyes. I cried for days. I mean, I cried my eyes out for days. So when I mentioned to one of my friends what I was going through, she said, oh, okay, my pastor can help you with that. Let us go and see my pastor. And because I was desperate to get this thing out of the way and marry this guy, I followed her to meet her pastor. He prayed for me and then gave me an instruction that I should go and donate blood. And then after I've done that, after I've donated blood, I should go back to a lab and test. And my genotype will change from AS to AA. I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough faith or something else, but I did exactly as I was instructed, and I went back to another lab. Guess what? My genotype was still AS. It did not change to AA. So at that point, I just gave up. I remember I cried for almost 2 weeks, and that period I actually tried to commit suicide. I'm not proud of it, but I was depressed. I mean, I already pictured my life, like I said earlier, with this man. Here I was dealing with genotype incompatibility. I felt like I was going to die, and I actually wanted to kill myself because I was pained, you know. So this particular incident drove me into paranoia. After that incident, every other guy I met, I mean from the very first date, I'm already asking you, what is your genotype? That was how bad it was for me, because I did not want to be served breakfast 2 times. As crazy as it sounds, yes, I did that. I know medicine has evolved. I know there are genetic tests you can do now. I know there are so many interventions you can do now if 2 AS partners get married and want to have a child to prevent sickle cell baby. I know medicine has evolved, but some people wouldn't want to take that route because they don't want to deal with the emotional, physical and mental roller coaster, or they don't even have money to do that, because these medical procedures or these medical interventions are sometimes very expensive. So maybe your partner doesn't want to go through all of that and you are dealing with this. I have something to tell you. You do not need to behave like me, and anytime you go on a first date, you're asking the person sharp, what is your genotype? I want to know, nah. Don't do that. But how you do it is, before you start catching feelings, before you start, before you start having feelings for this person, gently and subtly ask this person what their genotype is, and then explain your reason for asking. Not on a first date, my girl, not on a first date. There are also blood group incompatibilities, but I'm just sharing my own story with genotype incompatibility as far back as 2008. At that time, medicine in this part of the world had not evolved, and not many people were aware that 2 AS partners could get married and still not have sickle cell baby. If you are struggling with it, don't let it dampen your spirit. I know it's challenging, because apart from the fact that you're actually searching and looking for a man who's good enough to be with, you also have genotype and blood group issues to deal with and to screen through. So I need you to hang in there, talk with your doctors, talk with God, and just know that everything's going to be okay, and the right man for you is going to show up. Did you enjoy this video? Please let me know. Like this video and comment below. Most importantly, subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.